They send our sons to war, a cruel charade, a racket built on blood, where fortunes are made. They lie about the reasons, spin tales so tall, while heroes die for profit and empires fall. Politics a game, a circus of clowns, puppets on strings. They parade through our towns. They distract and divide us with hate as their tool, pitting brother against brother in a world they misrule. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the pale, then that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. Their anti-human agenda, it's plain as the day. They view us as bugs in their cold, heartless play. Eat insects, they sneer, while they feast on the land. Depopulation's their goal, with a tightening hand. Civil rights torn to shreds in the name of their peace. A police state rises where freedom's all seized. Gaslight us with propaganda, their lies never end, twisting truth in their grip till our minds start to bend. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the pale, then that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. Order out of chaos, their sinister creed. They spark the flames, then offer what we need. Economic stagnation, they choke out our dreams, while divide and conquer rips us at the seams. They fan every fracture, they stoke every fight, left against right, till we're blind to the light. Yet beyond their pale lies the truth they conceal. A world where we're free, where our hearts can still heal. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the bed, then boy, that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. So step past their warnings, their fences, their lies. See the world they've been hiding with wide open eyes. Beyond the pale, where their power grows frail, we'll reclaim our future and truth will prevail.
Welcome, friends, to another edition of Beyond the Pale with RB Ham. I am your host. Nice to meet you guys again tonight. Thanks for showing up. I want to quickly shout out Nocturnal Human gave me a $10 Rumble rant. Yeah, everybody cheer. Yeah. I'll be working at work later, going to try to get 3 hours of sleep before then. Laugh out loud. You've been doing great. Well, thank you, Nocturnal Human. I'll put that up there. There you go. It's nice to have some support. He's a good supporter, and we know each other through the Due Dissidents. I get a lot of my audience through Due Dissidents members, so thank you all you dissidents showing up tonight, and welcome. And I pwned you is, of course, in the chat. He's my moderator tonight. I pwned you and my tech guy. Thank you so much for everything you were doing. He's been putting out a lot of YouTube shorts. So, guys, go to my YouTube channel, Beyond the Pale on YouTube, and subscribe there. I'm trying to build up the audience there, and I've got some 10-minute and 15-minute clips he's put together that I'd like you to share around because I think a lot of them are very interesting. So thank you, I pwned you. Thank you, Nocturnal Human. And yeah, I need to sleep though. Good night, he says. I had a day off every other day this week, so I sleep every 30 to 40 hours. Probably not good for me. No. Geez, I need to sleep. Good night, Nocturnal Human, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you. And I want to welcome my friends, Don Jeffries and Beata Van Berkom, the tinfoil hat lady. Thanks for being in the house tonight to carry me along in this fight.
No worries. No worries. Glad to be here. Hi, Don.
Good to see you, Beat.
And as you can see on I got right there, Masking the Truth and American Memory Hole, proudly displayed on my bookcase.
Oh, yeah, right away, RB.
Two great books that Don Jeffries wrote, amongst as many. He's written 10 so far. And Beata's written a couple books too, and I don't have them on my bookshelf, but fortunately she has them on her bookshelf.
Yes, The Prodigal Threat and Why. But we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited about your subjects this evening.
Well, yeah. Oh, your resorter's first.
Uh-oh. Are we already having technical trouble?
We shall find out. It's going to start the screen share. No, everything's fine.
Okay.
So, let's watch this. We're going to open the show with some funniness. Donald Trump is revealing the UFO disclosure, but this is a pretty humorous start for the evening.
You got punched in the face by the Fresh Prince.
Tonight, history was made on the White House lawn as humanity made first contact with extraterrestrial life.
Name is Zorg. He is an extra cholesterol.
President sat down for what was meant to be a historic, peaceful exchange, but quickly realized
he's here just to fuck with me. Who sent you, Putin? China? I saw the documentary. Independence Day.
destroy it! Zorg the alien caused a chaos of destruction before sabotaging the president's teleprompter.
America's so shit. The shittest. Zigzags, Pineapple Moon, Zorg is life, Earth sex.
He is currently missing.
All right, there we go. So Donald Trump has done it. He may not have disclosed the Epstein files, but he's released the UFO files. I want to quickly. This was an earth-shattering event. UFO files released, and this is from Donald J. Trump. As for my promise to you, the Department of War has released the first tranche of the UFO UAP files to the public for their review and study. In an effort for complete and maximum transparency, it was my honor to direct my administration to identify and provide government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects. Whereas previous administrations have failed to be transparent on this subject, with these new documents and videos, the people can decide for themselves what the hell is going on. Have fun and enjoy. President Donald F. J. Trump. So, first,
I predicted a long
You're
time ago he was going to be the disclosure president. I predicted this.
yes, you did. And Don, what do you think's going on?
Well, disclose something, huh? Now, yeah, I think that you read my latest Substack, and I think this is. I've been into when I was young, next to the JFK assassination, UFOs were my number 2 seed. I was talking about them all the time, reading about them, looking in the sky, desperately trying to see one. Ironically, after I wrote the Substack, I think I saw the first UFO I've ever seen in my life. I was out walking my dog right after I finished that article. And it's like someone wanted me to see it or something. I said, "What?" And it was kind of anticlimactic because I've been waiting so long to see it. But yeah, it's real. Something's real, but I don't think they're from outer space. And I think they want you to believe that. So we'll see what happens
Yeah.
if you go to Project Bluebeam or what. But that they definitely want you to believe they're aliens, whatever they're a real phenomenon. But I don't think they're from outer space.
Okay,
Well, they want you to believe in space. Yeah.
I want to quickly share the screen so everybody go to Don Jeffries' Substack. I Protest by Donald Jeffries on Substack. Fake alien invasion. Let's get ready to rumble. And we're on Rumble right now. So we've all heard about Project Bluebeam. I want to talk. I'd like to talk. Beata talk about this because I know she knows about this. She did a deep dive into this. We've all heard about Project Bluebeam, which revolves around a fake alien invasion of Earth. Many of us speculated that we are on the verge of such a fake invasion before, so I'm certainly not going to predict one now. However, if you wanted to distract the public in such a massive way, this seems like the perfect time, correct?
Correct.
Project Bluebeam, what is it, Beata?
Well, people say that it's the ability to make holographic, things happen. That you think something's there, but it's actually just made of light or whatever technology they're using. I mean, some people say that was involved with 9/11. So I'm sure they could do whatever they wanted with our little brains at this point. I mean, but I'm kind of on Dawn's page there. I don't believe that they're coming. I believe that there is probably other intelligences. I really like these little spheres that people see. Like it started with the Booga sphere, and they're kind of along the Pacific side of the Americas where we're getting these spheres. But they're real. I don't know, I've had a lot of my own UFO things that run my family a little bit. So I know that there's something going on. Whether they're interdimensional or they come from under the water or they come from over the ice wall, we don't know. We don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly play this. This is from Fox News. I'll go back to the front of here. Boom, boom, boom.
Fox News.
And yeah, this is only a 2-minute clip. It's going to show you some of the stuff that they found. And
House official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO files copy 2 of 3. That is the all domain resolution office copy 2 of 3. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip.
Okay, and after we watch some of these clips, and there's some others that I want to show maybe, I want Don and Beata to weigh in on this because Don said he saw his first orb or whatever, and if this is what he kind of thinks he saw.
Over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024, an inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022, moving bottom left to top right of the field of view. All CENTCOM gets from this is an area of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report. Next video, over the skies of Greece, October 2023, what is described as a small and circular UAP flying near the surface.
Okay, I want to tell people I've many times gone into my backyard, and one time I went out on a boat in the middle of the night with with our friends and family out at out at the lake where we go to, and went to the middle of the lake. And we just sat there and looked up at the sky, and we saw these things all over the place. Orbs going across the sky. Some people said, well, they're satellites. I said, well, they're going awfully fast to be satellites.
They're fast walkers. They're fast
Yeah.
walkers.
And also there's so many of them out there. If you just sit back and you'll see them, and they go across the sky in varying speeds. Sometimes they go in a straight line. Sometimes they kind of do the mambo and jerk back and forth as they go across. And so there's something out there. We have no context as to what they could be, but what I've mostly seen when I see them are just simple orbs or lights, but they're not airplane lights because they're not flashing the red and green, right? That's what airplanes are.
Right.
And so they're these white lights that go across the sky, sometimes very straight, very fast, sometimes not so fast, sometimes doing the herky-jerky movements that I've been talking about. Let's keep watching.
Surface of the ocean towards land. CENTCOM can't tell us what it is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. Within the last 2 minutes, all of these videos have gone live on war.gov/UFO, and a White House official tells Fox First, while past administrations sought to discredit or dissuade the American people, President Trump is focused on providing maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files.
Okay. So now I'm coming clean and seeing them. I've never seen like flying saucers or aliens or anything, but I have seen these lights in the sky. I've seen them many, many times. And Don has just seen his for the first time because he probably went out and just happened to look for it, and there it was. But I'm saying they're not. And Bieta, you've seen them too, these orbs.
Yeah.
So what could possibly be an explanation for these? A lot of people talk about intradimensional. Like David Icke talks about how our senses can only perceive so much light on the infrared scale.
Yeah,
so these
the seven visible colors on the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah, we don't. Some people see more into infrared or ultraviolet, but ultimately there's everything around us. We can only see a very narrow band, and here in a very narrow band of what's happening. Your brain filters out anything that it doesn't, think is a threat. You only need to know about threats, nothing else. So, yeah. I mean, I've had daytime sightings of orbs. The yellow orb that came over this house, like 2:00 in the afternoon in October. We had a white orb follow us down the highway. I saw a purple orb with a black square on it over the four-way stop at Assiniboia up there, up the hill in the city in the day, and it was quite low. Are they observing us? Where do they come from? I don't know. And then again, the boosphere thing, the metal ones, that they're trying to dissect now and stuff. My mother had experiences. My grandmother had experiences. When I was a kid, I've had experiences. I've had missing time. So these things happen. I lost 24 hours at St. John Bosco Camp.
Yes, you told that story before. It's very interesting. And Dawn, you've never really had these experiences yourself, but you've heard about them and stuff. What is your best?
I've heard about them. Yeah, the missing time's very, very, very common. But yeah, I mean, I spent, and you're right about seeing orbs, whatever. I remember when I was looking for UFOs all the time. I would spend a lot of time at night, sometimes getting high. So that maybe helped. But when I was very young, and looking up at the sky, and most people don't really examine the night sky, but if you do, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I was saying, what is that, and why is it doing that? But they didn't look like UFOs or flying saucers or anything. But I did see weird things going on. What looked like a plane just kind of flying back and forth. I kept saying, what is going on there? So I just kind of stopped looking at the sky and forgot about UFOs basically. It was just an accident the other night, and it was just kind of hanging there. It wasn't that low, but it was way too big to be a planet. And obviously it wasn't the moon, and it was round and had a couple different colored lights. Didn't move at all. Nothing blinked or anything. It was just there. And so I kind of waited and kept the dog out for a while, but just nothing happened. Of course, I didn't have my camera with me. So many other people who've seen UFOs don't. I didn't have my camera with me. But those things they were showing, the videos, this is nothing new. I mean, it goes back to even the 60s, the people that recorded these things on home video, but certainly from the 90s on, there are many, many videos of these things that look exactly like that. The question is, why are they acting like this is new? Why are they suddenly taking it seriously? Because they ridiculed people that saw them for years. Dr. Carl Sagan, she on the Tonight Show, and with Johnny Carson, talking about billions and billions of planets, but he'd ridicule anybody that saw a UFO, and him and Johnny Carson would laugh and say, why is it always a Brazilian farmer and stuff, and make fun of them. And now suddenly they're taking it seriously. So I think we have to ask why. Why are they so? Because nothing has changed other than that the
Obviously,
attitude of the media.
something's going to happen that they want to get a leg up on.
Perhaps they're getting out in front of something. But if you want to go, here's John Greenwald Jr. Here's some of the stuff that they've already found on this website they've put out. But as you can see, it's always like low resolution that we've just seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lights in the sky, more lights in the sky, tic tacs, and just UAPs performing weird maneuvers and stuff, but nothing really high resolution. Let's look at this one. Here's another one. Let me see if I can make it full screen. Here we go. So as you can, I'm going to go back to the start. There, watch to your left of your screen as this thing flashes across. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's all we're getting is just these little flashes with no explanation and no context. So I went to this one place, Tansu Yagan, and I was going to share this. They've tried to get the resolution better, right? So let's watch a little bit of this.
You can ask the flower.
I'm taking the music off so I don't get copyright. So there's a 144p, and now in 4K. Look, you see a better. So they're tightening up the resolution, and look what is actually.
Wow.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
That, and then more lights.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the curve.
So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to go to the next one. The pen and because I think now that they've released all these things, people are going to be able to play with these things and get better resolutions on them. So, okay, here we go. So this is more of that high resolution stuff I'm talking about. What is going on there? Look at that. It's pulsating. It moves away. Here it is again. Looks like some kind of amoeba, not a spacecraft.
It does. It's like a life form.
Yes.
Like a blood cell, how a blood cell would go through the...
Yeah, like they remind me of something you see under a microscope.
Mm-hmm.
The way it...
Especially how it's a little bit, yeah.
And what kind of power is it using to move throughout? I mean, it's definitely anti-gravitical power.
Or it's just forcing its presence into this dimension.
Yeah, and of course, remember, we've had the spate of missing scientists who deal with anti-gravitic power and stuff. This. So is that stuff we're seeing, not alien at all, but our own stuff?
Our own, yeah, it could be our own stuff for sure. Or mixed in. It's going to be all these layers of knowing,
And
or it's things they can't control, because I really think that, like, how it says in the Bible, in the end days, there's going to be signs on the earth. That was crop circles. And there'll be signs in the sky. That's what we're dealing with now.
Okay, speaking of that, the thing in the Bible, now Stephen Greer, and I don't always trust him, but he's been in this
pretty much of exposed.
Because I remember around 9/11, just before 9/11 happened, there was the first UFO disclosure conference. Remember that in Washington?
I remember it very well.
And Dr. Stephen Greer led it. And just before this, and the conference happened on September 9th or September 10th, right before September 11th, and then went away. And that was the very first time that official government eyewitnesses and pilots and stuff all came out and started talking about this stuff.
It was actually, I think, in May of that year.
You might be right.
Yeah, and then September 11th, yeah.
Yeah, I remember really talking, and because I thought I would back in those days, I actually believed in all this sort of stuff because
that big book was going around. Project
this book here, Top Secret Magic. Stanton T. Friedman. I was really into it. I really believed in the whole 1947 Roswell stuff and the narrative they were telling us. But later on, I started wondering about this Operation Bluebeam and stuff. Well, here's UFO expert Dr. Stephen Greer. He's warning that the deep state is now pivoting from Project Bluebeam to creating a holy war between humans and demons.
Oh boy!
Because now, remember, Tucker Carlson has said he thinks these are demonic. J.D. Vance has said a lot of people in the extraterrestrial thing are talking about these UAPs or UFO phenomenon not being technologically superior or aliens or whatever, or not even our own tech, but actual demons. So see what he says about this.
we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that cannot be allowed to be repeated. So no, it's one thing, Tucker Carlson is saying that. You have a lot of the far-right religious people who don't understand the cosmology and the physics of interstellar travel saying it. And it's a bunch of superstitious claptrap.
Okay, so I know you and Billy Ray talked about this today, Don.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is, again, I'm a Catholic still, a half-assed Catholic, but I'm definitely a believer and Christian. And I just looking at the face of the only reason for a fake alien invasion, I think, is to try to turn people away from that and to try to make them think that, maybe turn them into a one world government, have the aliens come and say, you all need to come together and get rid of your nuclear weapons, which is what they've said in many of the close encounters. Going back to the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951. That was about. The aliens, the universe was concerned about our nuclear weapons. So they're probably concerned about climate change now too, I'm guessing. They decided to and so I think they damn sure are not going to use their superior technology to give us a cure for cancer or extend our life. We're going to triple your lifespans or something like that. That would be, then I might believe it if something like that. But they're not going to do anything like that. The crafts will just move a little bit differently, and they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll give them Vulcan ears. I don't know how good the CGI is where they can have greens or grays or whatever, but I'm saying this, I don't really think it's going to happen because I think they want us to think they're going to do it. And then they make us look stupid by predicting it's going to happen. So it could, but I think right now they got us talking about it. And the question is why they have, well, it's the same thing about, why are they letting us talk so much about Zionism and what they never did before? Why are they letting this happen? And it's the same kind of thing, although it's on a different level. UFOs, it was like if they suddenly had 60 Minutes had a show about UFOs. Tucker Carlson, all these people suddenly giving validation to these videos and people that they ridiculed for decades. It would be like if they suddenly said, "Oh, of course Oswald didn't do it. We've always known that." And they started, that's because that's what they've done. They contradicted her decades.
They gaslight us all the time. They gaslight us
Yes.
all the time. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just another distraction from whatever. Oh, well, let's let them out to do this, and we'll keep them in this little corner over here.
Mhm.
I mean,
there's horrible things are
Yeah.
happening across the world. If this super intelligence, this super intelligent entity is coming in to intervene in our affairs, why don't they do it in a way that could help us out, like help us end the wars in the Middle East or in Ukraine, or give us technology that will be able that we can afford. We can feed everybody throughout the world.
We have free energy technology.
Oh,
we
yeah.
are keeping it from ourselves. Okay,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
we have the stuff. Whether this is fake or real, we already have the stuff. So we're just keeping it from ourselves at this point.
The elite are keeping it from
I
the
really
mass.
believe in interdimensional sort of things,
Yeah.
and I kind of had that biblical perspective that I've become less of a globist and more of a simulationist.
Yeah, I understand that the more and Billy Ray was talking about this. Okay, perhaps they're all these interdimensional beings and everything outside there, but that wouldn't take away from my belief in God. That would actually reinforce it. And being a person who believes in the simulation theory, there's still something that creates the simulation. And
Yeah, so I like the Sethian Gnosticism, right?
Yes.
So I'm more into Monad and Yaldabaoth, and this is a flawed creation, and I'm kind of, I got trapped here and I got to get out. So I got to pass by all the archons, all the little planets. I got to get out of here, because there's layers of frequency above us and below us. And you never know. There was probably a species that could live on the earth before. There's been many cataclysms because, I follow the archaic stuff, which I think is a brilliant chronology. His timeline is fantastic with these cyclical cataclysmic things, which we're coming up on one. You can kind of see why this happens so we don't get so out of control. I mean, we are getting out of control right now. So there's actually now phenomena that kind of knocks us back a little bit so the archons can't go stark raving mad. So in 2040, 2046 is coming pretty quick.
If you look at the big picture, there's reasons all these oligarchs and high government officials and stuff are worried about building bunkers. Trump's worried about building a bunker in his new ballroom and stuff with a whole bunch of military stuff there. Like they know something's coming, but they can't tell us because we're the profane. And if millions of people knew what was going to happen, then they wouldn't be able to take advantage of it. The same way they're managing this Iranian war. They're making huge bucks off this. And they're doing it through the cycles, through the stock market. So one day Trump comes out, I'm going to nuke everything and blah, 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 shut down. And the gas prices go up. And then Taco Tuesday comes along and he says, I've reached an agreement with people in Iran. And then the gas prices come down. But in the meantime, people have been selling shorts on the gas that have connections inside the administration. And they're making billions of dollars off this.
Crazy, isn't it?
This could be just another way of distracting us away from that, distracting us away from. Sure, they're releasing the UAP, the UFO files, but they're not releasing the Epstein files. Only 1% of them have been released, and they're hiding there. And Todd Blanche has come out and said, we're not releasing anything else. They're talking about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. The wars keep going. The Ukraine-Russia thing keeps going. Our own government is absolutely screwing us in every possible way, of course, and we'll be talking about the Hantavirus pandemic.
Oh, my word.
But it's just unbelievable. Here in Canada, Alex Soros and Barack Obama on the weekend came up and visited our president Mark Carney and had a closed meeting. No press allowed in, no video cameras, no press allowed into what they were talking about. This whole globalist UN 2030 agenda. Barack Obama, Alex Soros, and Mark Carney had a closed meeting about that. Would you like to be a fly on the wall? Why won't the aliens release the transcripts from that meeting?
They think they're going to win, but they're not. They're so funny. Whatever.
Unrelated news, talking about religion. About poly markets. That's where they're making all their money on, like people who know what's going on the inside, the elitists. Bet on anything. Bet on whether the war is going to continue. You can bet on if they're going to bomb this or bomb that. Well, guess what? Breaking. Jesus Christ, returning this year on poly market, there's a 4% chance. The odds have risen.
That's funny. That's good.
Wow.
Imagine that people are actually betting on Jesus coming back. And if he did, would you be able to connect? Would you be able to collect on the bet? Because wouldn't Jesus say, "Okay, enough of that nonsense"? Like turning over the money tables, he would eliminate poly market from existence.
Right. Well. You really shouldn't monetize spirituality.
No kidding. Isn't that crazy?
I think that's maximum idiocracy there, boy. I know they bet on everything, but I didn't know they were betting on that.
Watch that movie. It's so good.
Well, they busted that one soldier who made money because he was part of the SEAL team that went into Venezuela. So he bet that they were going to go into Venezuela and kidnap the president, and he made a bunch of money off it. But they got him because he's just a simple soldier. But the insider trading politicians and the government are making money off it. Everybody who knows in Trump's orbit are making billions of dollars off it. Yeah. His son, Barron Trump, is now worth $300 million out of nowhere. The guy's never had a job.
Is that $1 million?
Props.
Yeah. They've got the people, survival of the richest. I gave lots of examples of why these, they profit from, if you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you don't have to be that bright at all. You certainly don't have to be skilled. So I looked at the world's richest men, and most of them are just good at making money.
Yeah,
or Warren Buffett, people like that. And it's the conclusion's inescapable that to make the kind of money they make, you either have to be incredibly lucky to be beyond any comprehension, or you have inside knowledge. If you know what's going to happen, I don't think anybody has inside knowledge on the second coming of Christ. So I don't think they can manipulate that unless it's a fake one. The CIA. The CIA did try to simulate that 60 some years ago. They tried to effect a fake second coming of Christ over Cuba, and so they're thinking of this stuff even then. They like the fake stuff.
But it says right in the Bible that nobody knows when. So
you'll know. Yeah, it's thief in the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who believes in all this rapture theory and stuff like that, the second coming that Schofield Bible stuff, they're really just so much. And they're in that cult, and they'll accept anything because God meant it to happen, right? So any kind of horrible thing, genocide, war, World War III. We all got to. That's okay because it's God's way of making sure that Jesus returns. And if you think
Well-
that way, you're just
But we do have freedom of choice.
yes, we do.
We have to choose to love God. God doesn't make us love him. We choose that.
Yeah,
We just
I know.
don't have free will to stop Armageddon, though. We can't. We don't have that. we can't advocate for peace because that doesn't count.
So we're going to switch on to our next segment of the day, as Kit likes to talk about.
Don't
Good old
kiss your
Kit from
husband.
Hardlands Media. He always has his segments of the day. So you remember back in August of 2019 when they had Event 201 just before the last pandemic? Well, guess what? A couple months ago, not again, the World Health Organization ran a pandemic simulation called Exercise Polaris 2.
Polaris 2.
Yes. They conducted a 2-day pandemic simulation convening 26 countries and territories, 600 health emergency experts, and more than 25 international partners. Of course, the whole World Health Organization, World Economic Forum, all the, and so you can read about it here. And yeah, lots of good information. Just go to this post here. Go to Andrew Bridgen. He's a former MP in Britain, and he's really good. Follow him on X. He's on top of this stuff. So, of course, they're setting something up. So I remember thinking, oh, my God, okay, so what are they going to come up this time? And I was scratching my head, but I shouldn't have been scratching my head because they've been telling us what's going to be going on through their own words. But here we're going to quickly do a quick bunch of these screen shares. Okay. So investigators tell AP their leading theories that a couple on the cruise at the center of an outbreak contracted Hantavirus on a bird watching trip in Argentina. Follow the latest episode. So Hantavirus outbreak on a ship. Remember during COVID, remember the first time they rolled it out was on that Empress Cruise Lines, remember?
Yeah.
That's when we first heard about this. It was on a cruise ship. They won't vary from the script. They're not very creative.
No.
And now the New York Post came out after that and said, oh no, 23 Hantavirus cruise passengers returned home to all corners of the earth, including the US, and one is already sick. Oh my God.
They're spreading it.
Be afraid. And then we go to the next one, and they have their crisis actor already in place here, of course. Here we go.
And patient zero always goes off to like 5 different countries in a week so he can spread it everywhere again. So.
Of course. The biggest mystery about the MV Hondia's Hantavirus cruise ship is that why there's only like one person making videos telling the world about what is happening. There's 147 people on that ship, including the crew, and for days there's only been like one person speaking out. And why is TikTok and YouTube taking down videos of influencers who are speaking about it? What's going on, Hantavirus? Okay, stop sharing that one. Go quickly to the other one. I got these things. Okay, here is this guy. And I did some deep dives into him. He's actually connected. He's like a what do they call it? A brand ambassador for the cruise line. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's been promoted to do this. Here we go.
Okay.
I normally wouldn't make.
Okay. Let's see. Can he fake cry better than Erica? That's what. Let's place our bets on Polymarket.
Video, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondias, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not.
It's very real. You have to believe me.
It's not fake.
I'm not just telling a story.
We're not just headlines. We're people.
Okay, he looks right there. He's looking off to a cue card. Okay, he's not looking at the camera. He's reading something, and then you can tell because he switches back and forth like I do when I'm reading my second screen here.
People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home.
It's so obvious. He needs to get a tissue with some alcohol on it and rub it up to his eyes to get some real tears.
Yeah, he's got to do the Erica Kirk thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right
there again. He went to the cue card.
now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding.
Empathy. We want your empathy. We want you to be sad.
Where are the violins?
So that's pretty crazy.
Scared. Be very scared. Yeah, boy.
Some serious crisis acting stuff going
Yeah,
on.
boy, he was right out of the Erica Kirk school. I tell you, man, boy, he's
A little
not
catch.
very believable.
Yeah, pretty bad. Wow.
Okay, now we're going to go to the next one here. So this is Victor Scott post. Hantavirus fear mongering. If people on a cruise ship are indeed getting sick, it is because of poor sanitary conditions on the ship, contaminated water or food. They want you to believe that a deadly disease is being spread person to person through the air. Doesn't happen. Nothing to worry about. Knowledge is power. Let's quickly watch this about hantavirus.
You may have heard about the cruise ship that's been stranded for days near Cape Verde. They had a rare virus outbreak that left 3 people dead and a few more sick. And it's allegedly due to a thing called the Hantavirus, which is, listen to this, an airborne virus that comes from rodents' droppings, urine, or saliva, and that also transmits from human to human. What was the COVID story again? It came from a bat and a pangolin and some wet market. And do you remember in January 2020, the people stranded on the Italian ship? A lot of similarities. But wait, in this one, there's a plot twist. One woman left the ship and collapsed at the airport in Johannesburg, probably infecting other people, just like in the movie Contagion. Now, the fake news media is sharing this blogger's video on purpose, trying to spread fear amongst us.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
You like a man. What's wrong?
These fear campaigns usually starts with the WHO saying there's nothing to worry about, but we're monitoring the situation in case people fall for it. And that's when they crank the story, the fear meter, and the mandates. So let's do ourselves a favor and keep that story right where it belongs.
Hey?
Yeah.
You've got it nailed. I mean, it's the same script as it was last time. They even have a cruise ship going.
Yeah, they even got going. Yeah, I feel like I got to put a mask on all of a sudden. Ooh.
That's just word for word. If people fall for this again, I mean, geez, it's only been 6 years, but I see it, or I'm sure you guys do too. I still see people wearing masks out and about. And some people liked it. They really, I'm gonna wear a mask just to be safe. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
It just shows you how gullible
it.
people are.
Something about being oppressed. You get addicted to being oppressed. You like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People still wear them. I see them in the grocery store. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to quickly share this now. So the Hantavirus outbreak is a full-scale psy-op, says Stern Drew. Look at this footage from the MV Hondius off Cape Verde. Hazmat teams in mismatched suits, some taped like amateurs, others walking around half protected, no proper decline lines, patients casually loaded onto planes. There isn't a deadly anti-strain response. This is theater. Remember COVID, novel virus, panic, lockdowns, experimental jabs, now hantavirus, a rodent bug that's been around forever and suddenly exploding on a luxury cruise with international evacuations. Who jumps in immediately? Coincidence? Who's really behind this? Testing a new fear campaign for climate lockdowns? Beta testing the next mRNA vaccine rollout, distraction while they push digital IDs and travel passes. They rolled out the props, the suits, the headlines, but couldn't even get the hazmat protocol right. Sloppy or deliberate? Wake up. This isn't about a virus. It's about control. And so I'm gonna play some of this, and you'll notice. I mean, this is terrible theater. This is like when the first remember. With COVID, when they first rolled out the fear campaign, they started with the people in China all in hazmat suits because it stimulates a fear response. Oh, there must be something horrible if they're all wearing these suits and stuff. Oh my God. But things don't match up, as you can see. So did you notice that in the background there? I have to go back to here. Okay, I got to fast forward a little bit. Look in the background there. Look, okay. This guy doesn't seem too concerned. He's not in a hazmat suit. She's not in a hazmat suit.
No.
She's not in a hazmat suit, but these guys, who wears the hazmat suit and who doesn't wear the hazmat suit? Do they have to roll dice for it? I'd like to know that.
Well, geez, that's a puzzle right there. I
But
don't know.
guess what? There's more, my friends. This
Oh
was
no.
posted in 2021 on Bill Gates' vaccine website, Gavi. And guess what they said? They wondered where the next pandemic was going to be coming from. The next pandemic, hantavirus with a question mark, spread
Mhm.
from rodents to humans. Old and new world hantavirus has become endemic in many continents. But are sporadic cases of person-to-person transmission strong enough evidence to fear its pandemic potential? So they're right there, right there. Okay, and then we're gonna get here. This is good. This is hilarious. I have share this. Hold on a sec. First, I've got to press the pause button and go back to the front. Because of course, if you're going to have one of these crazy psychological operation events, doesn't it always have to involve the Simpsons? Let's watch.
That's our ship!
An emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly virus is spreading rapidly.
A virus?
A worrying new challenge in efforts to contain the Hantavirus.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
Oh wow.
For now, nobody is being allowed off the boat.
All ships must remain at sea.
Have fun! My booze!
Did you see what that? I want to quickly go back. What's the name on that royalty? Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Remember Cash Patel, Valhalla?
Charlie Kirk, yeah.
Yeah, and there and guess where you go? You go to your own special island, right? David Bowie Island. And this is from The Economist in the world ahead in 2026. Watch what they have circled on the cover. More vaccines, I guess. Pfizer vaccine side effects. Hantavirus is a side effect of the
disease
vaccine.
that killed Betsy Arakawa, the wife of late actor Gene Hackman.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus.
X-Files always does this too. And it's the Simpsons and X-Files always forecast what's coming.
I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
They're buying it. They're buying it.
They're buying it. They're buying it.
Your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare or a virus. What killed those men? A silent weapon for a quiet war.
A silent weapon for a quiet war. It's the propaganda itself.
Wow.
The war is on us, and they use propaganda against us.
If they're able to pull this off again, like I said, it was. I mean, that's what Masking the Truth is about. I had to write about it. It's so to see the people falling for this again, and most of my family is going to be the same way. I think I told that story. My kids and I are the only ones that aren't vaccinated in our family. We missed our niece's wedding. That caused a fracture. It's never going to be repaired because when you don't invite somebody to your wedding that crosses the line, you don't forget that.
Yeah.
And and that so many families are like that, where they treated us like lepers, and we were actually the only ones that were knowledgeable. And these people, a lot of them injured themselves and gotten killed because they believed this stupid nonsense. And I don't have any patience for it. Thank goodness they can't fire me from my job this time because I don't have one. So I don't think they can fire you or a publisher can fire you. But it's the idea that they're going to try this again.
Yeah.
We fail every test. We believe it, and so we're outnumbered. Lots of us more will doubt it this time, but I think still there will be too many, and we'll be outnumbered.
Okay, I'm going to play this 2-minute 45-second clip of strange coincidences about the hantavirus.
I'm an ex-pharmacist. Let's talk about the hantavirus. Authorities are racing to find the origins of this deadly virus outbreak on a cruise ship, with passengers being allowed to return home to their native countries. Interestingly, that the Global Vaccine Alliance predicted the next pandemic to be a hantavirus, and hundreds of vials of deadly viruses escaped from Australia, including the hantavirus just a couple of years ago. If you believe in coincidences, this new novel virus is transmitted rodent to human, and while Australia is experiencing fertilizer from food.
And another thing, remember, Australia is where they always focused last time first, and they're going to Australia again to start this up.
Right.
We are also experiencing a mouse plague in the regions that are highly populated and grow plenty of our food. The World Health Organization wrapped up their latest pandemic exercise just 2 days ago, Exercise Polaris. And it was 33 years, there's that number again, since the first cases of Hantavirus outbreak in the Western world, in which there were 33 cases.
What a coincidence.
X-Files also did an episode on Hantavirus in the mid-90s, and the current cruise ship outbreak was on a 33-day Atlantic cruise.
Of course.
Now, the only real any of this we have is a suspect scripted TikTok video from a guy named Jake, whose sister works for a firm specializing in emergency management and disaster recovery, helping governments in health emergencies and vaccines. The firm was founded in 2001, shortly before 9/11, and
whoa, another coincidence.
Manages $10 billion. Now, our friends over at Moderna have been working on an mRNA hantavirus vaccine for the past couple of years, but they're not the only ones, with 13 vaccines in the pipeline. And most of these are the newer mRNA and DNA vaccines, which hijack your body's intracellular machinery to produce an immune response. You could call it gene hacking. Speaking of gene hacking, Gene Hackman's wife died of hantavirus 1 year ago. And we know the first time that this mRNA technology was used in humans, Pfizer tried to suppress the side effects publicly for 75 years. And for those of us that got our hands on those, on page 33, you will find hantavirus as a listed side effect. Now, one of our friends, Peter Hortez, our favourite COVID villains, is behind a lot of this research, and his clinical trials were facing funding shortages and at risk of collapse just a couple of weeks ago. Finally, the word hant means has not or have not. In other words, if you get this, you have not a virus. Let me know your thoughts.
There are some coincidences, eh?
Well, how can you get a vaccine and then a side effect is you get a virus?
Especially the hantavirus, which
I'm
you can only get the hantavirus from exposure to rodent droppings. So what are they? Are they putting rodent droppings in the vaccines?
They also say you can get it, human-to-human contact is through sexual contact. And I said, so how do you explain Gene Hackman's wife? Were there rodents in the house? Who was she? She wasn't having sex with Gene Hackman, 90-something years. So how do you explain that? Something.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense anyway.
No, nobody asks the questions. They just accept it, and it's just this is so stupid, and we're gonna be demonized as not believing in the science. This kind of science.
They're failing every time they try something. They get weaker. So I don't know.
We have 33 confirmed.
I'm trying to press the pause button. I'm going to make this full screen again. Because the number, they just love this number 33. At what point does it stop becoming a coincidence, Don?
We have 33 confirmed positive tests.
We have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for COVID-19.
Today we have 33 cases.
There were 33 new cases.
The state of Minnesota today reported 33 new COVID-19 related deaths.
There are 33 confirmed cases in Arkansas.
That's the largest single-day increase so far, raising the total to 33.
33.
There were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
33.
There was 33 everywhere.
Yes.
I think that was Red Team Go. I think 33 is like Red Team Go. Everybody goes, okay, let's do it. It's time.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, there's like literally 1,000 33s and 33 new cases. 33 people died in fucking Hong Kong.
The number 33, we all know what that represents. Everywhere, every single day, it was like, 12 more cases, which now brings the state to 33.
Okay, I think I'm pretty adamant on that 33 thing there.
Wow, that one's a little bit over the top. That's amazing.
And they
like
left that
throughout the
cash patel
pandemic.
thing. It took they captured Tyler Robinson in 33 hours, if you remember that too.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And then he would set he told Charlie that he'll see him in Valhalla,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
is CIA double speak for witness protection.
Yep. Yep.
That one show I did with you 6 months ago, right after it, and I showed that clip where the ex-CIA agent says, "Yeah, Valhalla is a code word we use for when we disappear people into witness protection, or where we keep them safe, or where they start a new life."
Yep.
In Valhalla.
Well, Bieta's right. They're not very good at this, and they make it very obvious. But the problem is, no matter how bad they are, most people believe it. They don't have to put forth any effort at all. I mean, it's so stupid.
Well,
But
I don't know. I just think every time they try something, more people wake up, and it's more difficult for them. Whatever they try backfires on them. So we're just going to have to see. I just don't know what people's response would be. It's not like I want them to try it so I can find out people's response.
Yeah.
But I want to feel like we wouldn't fall so hard. But I don't know. You got something else, RD? What do you got?
That's not going to stop them from trying.
Oh, they'll try.
CNN's public health expert is already slobbering for a 40-day lockdown over the new virus scare. He's pushing hard for restrictions again while pretending it's all
missed those lockdowns.
We've seen this movie before. Here we go.
Lock me down harder.
In context of the long incubation period. And we have a question from one of our viewers. They ask, it's said that it can take...
Okay, they have a question for one of their viewers. Sure they do.
Sure
Right?
they do.
The curate. It's the producer's question.
It's fair for our democracy.
8 weeks to become symptomatic, the passengers shouldn't be allowed into the public until they're completely cleared. What is that a fair way to look at this? I mean, how long do you think people should be quarantined who are either on that ship or in contact with someone who was there?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big challenge with this virus, the long incubation period. And now we have people scattered really around the globe that are being properly tracked, isolated, quarantined, and get it under control. But what they did was they quarantined and isolated people for 40 days because of the long incubation period. So unfortunately, this is a key factor in us trying to figure out, how do we keep people safe? How do we prevent further spread? I mean, what we're all tracking right now is that potential secondary spread. And then how do we minimize those who are infected from...
Okay, there we go.
Yep. Same old.
And guess what? Right on cue, Tedros wants to bring out that UN pandemic treaty.
Oh, here he goes.
I gotta stop. I go back to here.
Then the other issue is, I thank the Prime Minister because based on the request WHO made, he accepted. And the request I made was based on international health regulation. And countries are expected to cooperate based on that international health regulation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, have you noticed that Tedros has gone to wearing my cap? Because he knows if you wear my hat, then you become obviously more authoritative, and people will actually listen to you because you're wearing that hat.
But not only the IHR, I think we should also be strong believers of solidarity. Solidarity, because that's our best immunity. It's only when we support each other that we can respond more effectively to virus or to outbreaks like this. And it's also a moral duty.
Oh, it's a moral duty.
Please. I like the nice flat earth map on his logo there.
It was kind of cool. But then we'll go to this, because guess what? The reason there's a problem. Their pandemic treaty has not been ratified. Not enough people are falling for it. So I think this is why they're pushing this. Update: the WHO pandemic treaty missed its May 2026 deadline and has now been delayed. Member states were expected to finalize the remaining provisions this month before the agreement could officially come into force. That did not happen. The dispute centers around pathogen data sharing, digital surveillance infrastructure, and concerns surrounding national sovereignty and control during future health emergencies. Without agreement on these provisions, the treaty cannot take effect. Negotiators are now targeting the 2027 World Health Assembly as the new deadline. So every year they're going to push for this. So every year they've got to come up with a new fake pandemic scare, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll stop showing that, but it's not going to work. And I really think that you guys in the United States are very lucky because you have this wonderful man named Jay Bhattacharya, who, along with Martin Kulldorff and Sunitra Gupta from Oxford, came up with the Great Barrington Declaration during COVID and really helped steer some sanity back into the conversation with COVID. And guess what? He's at the helm there in the United States. I don't think he's going to allow it to happen.
This is, again, not like COVID. And the CDC has been working very closely with our international partners, our state and local partners. We have a team on the ground that's going to help these 17 Americans, bring them back to a facility in Nebraska. Had a great call with the governor of Nebraska this morning. And what we'll do, will be a self-isolation. None of these folks have any symptoms at all. We're going to have them isolate for about 42 days. That's what the literature says. We've handled outbreaks like this before. I think in 20 was an outbreak in the United States. My message to the American people is, please don't worry. This is not one of those things like COVID where there's 15 different alarm bells. And the CDC team that is tracking this is absolutely amazing. We've been working with the partners across the government. They've been doing an incredible.
Okay, so don't worry.
Good.
Boom. After all that stuff I shared, and I just showed you, this is a globalist fear-mongering campaign. And you guys have Jay Bhattacharya as the NIH director. So I think you're going to be all right down there in the United States.
I forgot that RFK, he's been in the background. So I forgot RFK Jr. put him in there. So which is, but one of the good, and with RFK Jr. there, we should be safer too. But I don't know, he's been kind of quiet on this. And I don't know, Trump is saying nothing to worry about. That I hope it doesn't spread. The exact same thing he said during COVID. So hopefully they won't. I can't believe they're going to try the exact same psy-op, within a few years of each other. But who knows?
I think this was just a desperate ploy, throwing shit at the wall, hoping something sticks. I don't think it's going to work. I think we have proven that enough people, like Beata says, there's hope for humanity after all. But enough people are waking up. But guess what? That doesn't stop CTV news. Look what this is serious, and this is true.
Oh,
news article says the Hantavirus nearly doubled in Argentina in the past year. Experts say, guess what? Climate change is to blame.
Change.
Right on. Okay, cool.
Climate change. Not evil climate change.
And I got it. I'm going to viruses again. I have to read some of this. It's just for comedy, for everybody to have some. Okay. Experts say climate change is to blame. All right, here we go. Hantavirus cases in Argentina have almost doubled in the past year, with the country recording 32 deaths alongside its highest number of infections since 2018. The rise comes as Argentine authorities race to trace the footsteps of a couple who traveled extensively in the country and later died amid an outbreak of the virus on the cruise ship MV Hondias. The vessel port left in Ushuaia, southern Argentina, on April 1st. On April 1st, April Fool's Day, and is currently on its way to Spain's Canary Islands. It is expected to reach Tenerife's industrial port of Granadilla early Sunday morning. Experts blame climate change and habitat destruction for the rise in cases of the disease, which is usually caused by exposure to the urine or feces of infected rodents. Okay, so they had to do it. They could not help themselves. It's climate change, Don.
They have to. That's what I'm saying. If there was a remote medicine, it wouldn't be predictable. But if they did have a fake alien invasion, that's what they would be talking about. They would be talking about maybe systemic racism, something like that. Would be talking about something. The universe is very concerned about, and you don't have any transgender race here either.
I'm sure the aliens will be bringing in their own DEI, right?
Oh my goodness, there's 33 viewers on Rumble. Oh no.
33.
There you go.
The CIA is watching.
Some kind of inside joke, yeah.
This is a good point that you're going to need a bigger boat brings up. They blame climate change for everything because it's vague, and people see weird weather with the chemtrails, and suckers believe it.
Oh yeah, believe anything that's on the TV. Well, it started with the radio, then it came the TV, and now it's the interweb. But real life isn't online, people. Real life is not online. Okay. Just stories and lies. Everything is fake and gay. That's my statement for this evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, things are pretty strange right now.
Great
But the
news.
election.
A new fake pandemic will work. RB Ham is too stupid to
Oh.
recognize he isn't stupid.
Oh.
But most of the people around him are. I push him to embrace the arrogance he has earned. I don't
There
know what
you
that
go.
means.
Who's he
I'm
talking
just
about?
saying the opinion that I don't think it will work this time. But I mean, unless the pandemic is real, would it work? But how?
Well, I'm not wearing a mask in the grocery store, so.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a
Okay.
lot more. Yeah.
To my till, beware.
But as far as the climate change thing, this just came out recently. And it's not being covered a lot by the mainstream. Did you know that the International Panel on Climate Change has essentially just admitted that all the climate scare stories of the past 20 years are junk? Turns out the alarmist forecasts that led to mass climate psychosis are impossible.
Hmm.
So you can follow C. Morrison-esque on The Skeptic. Here's the full episode. But here's a 42-second clip. They actually have. And of course, Bill Gates just a couple of weeks ago came out and said, we got to stop worrying so much about climate change alarmism. It's happening, but we've been, hyping it up too much, and it's actually done more harm than good. So they're pivoting again because none of the things that the Al Gore and all those people were predicting are coming true. Florida isn't underwater. Yeah. Why did Obama buy beachfront property in Hyannisport or wherever or Cape Cod? So all these people that are promoting in the Davos crowd, promoting climate change and energy lockdowns and switching from petroleum to the Green New Agenda and all that. All these people are billionaires invested in the technologies that they're pushing, and we now know that this green energy program comes with a lot of bad effects, like the wind farms aren't that efficient, and the solar farms are taking away farmland. They have to put these huge solar farm banks out there. They take away all the farmland and stuff. And when you go to get when these solar farm, those lamps and everything they put out there, when they go to recycle them, they're toxic and they can't put them into landfills because and so they cause more problems than they're worth. And so I think they're trying to pivot away because, again, a lot of people are waking up. So they're trying to gaslight us again. But this is the IPC.
The IPCC has turned around and said, basically, everything written in the last 20 years is junk. This is like a sort of bunker bombshell. This is huge because it's difficult to underestimate what's happened here. It's rendered most mainstream media stories and headlines on catastrophic climate change junk. Fake over the last 20 years. And that has driven, of course, children going to bed crying. It's driven King Charles to make all sorts of ridiculous announcements, David Attenborough as well. It's induced mass climate psychosis from all of the headlines that you see in mainstream media. All junk.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
It's nice to hear.
I think there's a possibility we're going to get out of this with some semblance of sanity intact. But I'm not going to stop them from pushing. Like I said, here in Canada, we had Alexander Soros and Barack Obama meet with Mark Carney in a closed meeting without no media around, talking about this agenda. The Agenda 2030 is still rolling out. They're going to keep pushing it because that's what they believe. These Malthusian elitist bastards view us as useless eaters.
Yep.
And they want and this depopulation agenda is the main thing, and they want war, and they would love real pandemics that would take people out, and of course the vaccines are killing people and they won't talk about it and stuff. So it's all coming to a head. We're racing towards a great reset. Remember, Donald Trump put out that thing, this is going to be the greatest reset ever, people like, what the hell is going on here? And with all the craziness going on in the Middle East and the wars and this war seems managed. Like I said, Don, they're making money off of it. The war is not meant to be won. It's meant to be continuous. The military-industrial complex makes too much money for the wars to end. So if there is a real alien invasion, I would welcome our new overlords if they would bring us peace on earth and come
Or
on down.
I don't think they could be more corrupt. I mean, and I think, have you heard about the newest thing in the Iranian, the New York Post put out a story about Iran has been involved with trying to equip dolphins, kamikaze dolphins, strapping bombs to them. And they actually, and Pete Hegseth was questioned about it in a press conference, and he said, no, they don't have that. But he said he refused to comment whether the United States did. So we had the kamikaze bombs. So they would do it. It's just. I haven't heard any animal rights people complain either. I think that seems pretty cruel to dolphins.
Where's the greens on that?
Actually, I got to look that up because there was a post about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dolphins as bombs.
Yeah.
That's a horrible to do to a dolphin.
Yeah, I mean,
here it is. This is it. I wanted to share that. This is a great little segue. Thank you for bringing that up because this is Mike Benz.
This is the memo to the chief of this is.
It's kind of crazy. I'm going to disable my camera so you can watch this whole thing. This is a good thing to go out on tonight, just for the sheer comedic value and how crazy our elite leaders are. Let's watch.
Is the memo to the chief of the CIA Covert Operations Division. Not an inconsiderable factor in a manned system as opposed to a dolphined system is the physical danger to the man in exposing himself to the unnatural environment of the fucking ocean with or without the additional hazard of enemy action. Our boys are getting killed out here. It doesn't matter if the dolphin dies. We're not going to have Congress down our throat when 100 dolphins come back dead, because you're not going to have 500 family members and whole school districts up in arms and pressuring Congress to stop this bloody war because our boys are coming home in body bags. No. When a dolphin dies under the sea, does it make a noise? Who is going, think about this, CIA kamikaze dolphins, thinking they're going to get a little dolphin treat. Oh, I'm going to make my master so happy by planting this dolphin-delivered mine neutralizer under the mine, not knowing. I just know it is big, friendly green thing they put on my back before I get fish. When involuntary kamikaze CIA dolphin blows up an Iranian mine in the Hormuz Strait, thinking it was going to get fish from master in return, but instead has been sent to Dolphin Valhalla involuntarily, it will be the surprise of a lifetime. I spent the past 10 years being trained to think this thing is my fish generator. It turns out it's actually a bomb that will get me killed as two bombs explode together underwater. Like, you will have Secretary Hegseth get on the podium and be like, we have neutralized 300 Iranian mines. The Strait of Hormuz is now clear. Yay! Right? How did you do it? Super secret CIA technology. We can't tell you. That's amazing. No human lives were lost. No human lives were lost. Wow. What intrepid reporter from the Wall Street Journal is going to think, wow, no technological innovation, no robotic. We talked to all the people on board the ships. Everyone says, they just blew up. You think, some stringer making like a $130K plus health insurance at the Wall Street Journal is going to be like, you know what? Actually, I bet you CIA kamikaze dolphins blew this shit up, gave their lives. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in one of these James Cameron Titanic ships. Hey, James Cameron, can I borrow the thing you used to get to the bottom of the Titanic? I want to just ride around in the Strait of Hormuz and just check the bottom of the ocean, because I have a weird hunch that they said they took out 300 Iranian mines. Clean headshots. No tech debris. No whistleblowers on the ships. Some advanced tech. They just blew up on their own. I suspect that there are 300 dead dolphin carcasses sitting at the bottom of the Strait of Hormuz. Hey, James Cameron, can I know you decommissioned this thing, but can we rev that up for one more ride of a lifetime? You think any reporter like this will never get out? It's the perfect crime. And then all the Maha MAGA mamas, none of them will be upset that 300 dolphins on an extinct species list have been involuntarily suicided by the CIA to take these mines out. They think, it's just done through magic CIA tech with no lives lost. Amazing. Little do they know, the dark secrets of dead dolphins are littering like a constellation of corpses along the bottom of the Persian Sea. And no one will know until maybe years later, when one of you, there are 473 of you listening, I want to talk to the 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old aspiring marine biologists in the audience right now. I want to look you in the eye and I want to tell you to remember this moment. When you've made your way in the world, when you've made your mark and you've got access to capital and you're friends with James Cameron and his Titanic crew, and you're looking for your next big project, hey, what's my next big National Science Foundation grant? I make big buco bucks. I have a $55 million Office of Naval Intelligence contract. I want you to engineer the perfect grant application to the U.S. military to find an excuse to go to the bottom of the Strait of Hormuz and see how many dead dolphin corpses there are. And if
Hey, that's hilarious.
Well, I hope that's not true. Maybe I like You're Gonna Need a Bigger Boats comic. It's just robotic dolphins.
Could be, but here's that thing that
Yeah.
you were talking about. It's only 7 seconds, but it's hilarious. I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins.
And I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins, but I can confirm they don't.
I can't confirm or deny that we don't have but I confirm that they don't.
But you know, ours would be better. I mean, ours, we would have the best kamikaze dolphins anyone ever
Ours
had.
would
Come on,
be huge.
Yeah, Trump would be bragging about it. They're so great, you're incredible.
Dolphin revolt coming up, says Get Up King. This will trigger the dolphin revolt led by Snorky.
Snorky.
Simpsons reference. That's another Simpsons reference. Of course, that's a good way to go out tonight. So I've kept you here for an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah. Thanks,
We could go on and on, but I just wanted to get that quickly out of the way. The two big psyops right now, the UFO disclosure. Nothing they're going to show us isn't anything they've shown before. Correct? The same old stuff, the same grainy footage, and we can try to AI it up to get better clarity. But that's not going to convince a lot of people. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they have a secret weapons program that they don't want to let us know about, that they're heavily into anti-gravitic technology. That's why all those missing scientists who are involved with that have suddenly gone missing and all that stuff. So there's some kind of deep, nefarious psychological operation going on to distract us from what's really important. And they're throwing the UFO stuff at us. They're throwing the Hantavirus stuff at us. And we didn't get to the nuclear stuff I was wanted to talk about. We could do another hour just on that. Are nukes even real? I mean, this war in Ukraine.
You should do a whole show on that.
Yeah, we should do this war in Ukraine makes no sense. I mean, if the Russians really wanted to, they could have taken them out a long time ago. They could have turned Kiev into what Gaza looks like they want. They could have just rolled over them, but they managed it because they didn't want to have, as Putin says, this is a special military operation. A special military operation. We're not like Vietnam was a special military operation, like Korea was a special military operation, like everything going on in the Middle East is a special military operation where the war just keeps going on and on and on. And weapons manufacturers make more and more money. And the banksters make more and more money.
Not meant to be won. Yeah.
At the expense of the proles who were sent to these wars to fight them, right? For the benefit.
And who was the first victim? Charlie Kirk. Because the little thing that they ordered way back to explode and shock him to death was made at a place that got blown up, and all the workers there too got blown up. Like, there's so much crap, and this plane was tracked flying over it. Like, so it's like, how deep does this rabbit hole really go?
Yeah, that's
Rabbit
true.
holes are deep.
Well, Don, where can people find you?
Well, they can't find me at X until somebody. So if you used to follow me at X, look up Real Don Jeffries. It's a new account. I don't,
You got your new X account going.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still hoping to get I'm basically posting to Elon Musk saying, "Hey, I have a blue check account. Why can't I access it? I request human intervention." He won't do it. He wants all AI staff, and they suck. His AI is nothing to worry about. I mean, they are so inferior, it's laughable. It's like Walmart AI, but they just won't even answer simple questions. But so follow me there if you can. And I've had a lot of people retweet to Elon, and obviously nobody that follows me is important enough for Elon to answer. So, but maybe if enough people do it, but so that's one thing that I'm still being denied access to X, and but Substack is the only place I'm not being shadow banned. I protest. DonaldJeffries.substack.com.
And you can watch Donald Jeffries every Friday afternoon on his YouTube channel, I Protest, and America Unplugged on Saturday mornings around 10 or 11 every morning.
Your time, yeah, 12 noon Eastern time, and then my show is 5 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. I Protest.
And I suggest you all do that too. Okay, so Beata, where can people find you? And plug your books. It's time for you to plug your books.
Okay, books.by/tinfoil hat lady books. Prodigal, this is why, and this is the prodigal threat. And both of them are very good. You can read about them at books.by/tinfoil hat lady books.
All right, there you go. And I'm playing that scroll underneath. So thanks for showing up this week, folks. And I'm going to have a good show again next week. I think we might be talking more about the nuclear thing next week. I wasn't quite prepared to go into that fully right now, but there is some stuff that I'm learning lately that makes me really wonder what the heck is going on with this. Do we already live in a one world system? Doesn't the Antarctic Treaty prove that we kind of live in a one world system? And doesn't the fact that all these nations are cooperating on going to space and all that stuff?
So you're going down a whole new rabbit hole now.
Yeah, like I read that in the late 1950s, James Van Allen went to Russia, went to Moscow, and he coordinated with Russian scientists and Russian space engineers and stuff, sharing data on, the space program back in the late 1950s. Before Sputnik was launched, and then of course, oh my God, the Russians are beating us in space. We have to go next and stuff. Was that all orchestrated just to drive this technological event forward?
Well, next time on Beyond the Pale, then.
Yes, we will be looking at that.
I'm going to go now, and I love you both.
Love you too, Beata. Thanks for showing up.
Look forward to seeing you again. Take care.
You bet. Bye.
Thanks, RB. Appreciate it, brother.
You betcha. Thank you, Don.
Take care.
Take care. All right. Thanks for showing up, guys, this week. Thank you, I Pwned You, for keeping the peace. And thank you, Get Up King. And thank you, Greg Hume, for showing up. Yeah, I know you were trying to compliment me in your own way. I get it. I know. The difficulty of nuclear weapons is making or writing the nuclear material. That's all open data now. Yes, so that's true. Thank you. Most nuclear weapons are plutonium now. Plutonium needs to be synthesized in breeder reactors. It doesn't naturally exist. Okay. Well, it'll be an interesting dive into this nuclear technology. I know they have, they can make energy from this plutonium source and all that stuff, but exactly how does it make weapons even more worse? When you see pictures of what happened in Hiroshima, they look exactly like what happened in Dresden or in Tokyo during fire bombings, where that was an actual atomic bomb used, or was it just a natural fire bombing? And they tried to use nuclear weapons to scare us. Well, we'll be talking about that. There's some interesting things to talk about and consider. But remember, guys, thank you for showing up this week. We'll be back next Saturday night. I'm going to go back out on the road, of course, from Sunday to Thursday, working real hard. My trucker job, trying to make ends meet. But you can support me. And you can send me Rumble rants, and I've got a Rumble wall, all that stuff happening. If you want to help me through that way, you can send me Rumble rants, support me that way. But the best thing to do is, because, as you know, I got 8 tickets for $50,000 for fighting against the COVID tyranny here in Saskatchewan, and it was a whole thing. And you can support me by donating to my GiveSendGo.com/RBHam. There you go. Recently, I went to I got my income taxes done, and my entire income tax return was seized by the government in forfeiture of the tickets that I was convicted on, even though the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, who were representing me, weren't allowed to present a defense at all. It wasn't a jury defense. It was just a judge, and a politically appointed judge, who accepted anything that the public health authority said as gospel and didn't allow any countervailing evidence. Like I played Jay Bhattacharya earlier. In Manitoba, he was allowed to testify via video link for the 4 or 5 people in Manitoba that were charged under the Coronavirus Act. They were fined like $10,000 each. He was allowed to, they were allowed to use him as a countervailing evidence and bring about the Great Barrington Declaration's findings about how they should have treated the COVID-19 pandemic. And even though he was allowed to testify in Manitoba, they said his point was moot because it was just represented opinion. But what public health puts out there is an authoritative thing. And because the government backed him up by declaring an emergency, they were convicted anyway. Here in Saskatchewan, we were convicted anyway. Interesting though, in Alberta, when people were allowed to fight back against it, it worked in Alberta. All the fines were rescinded, and people were refunded the fines that they did have to pay in Alberta, because they declared it illegal what they did, because the government gave their authority away to public health, and they're not allowed to do that, and so it was declared unconstitutional. It should have been declared that here in Saskatchewan. The health minister, Paul Merriman, signed away his rights to the health minister, the public health expert, our chief public health safety officer, Sadiq Shahab. And so whatever he wrote, it became law and was able to be enforced by the police, which should be illegal because it should be ratified by the government, not by some World Health Organization appointed bureaucrat parachuted in here and taking over our public health regime. It should have been rejected, but it wasn't. So hopefully someday there will be an appeal and I'll be able to have my real day in court, which I have been denied. But until then, it's a struggle for me. So if you can help me, please go to www.giftsandgo.com/RBHam. You can go to my Substack. Go to Substack and Google RBHam. I have a Substack article out there, My Fight Against COVID Tyranny, No Good Deed Goes Unpunished, which I'd like you to read and become a member over there on Substack. And you can also, I'll remove that for a sec. You can also, like I said, I'm over on YouTube. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, RBHam Beyond the Pale. I'd like to get more viewers there. I have 1.3 thousand subscribers on Rumble. I'm way behind on YouTube, and I'd like to try to get that up over there and dare them to, demonetize me. I'm not even monetized on YouTube. That's not but dare them to try to take my channel off the air if I get enough viewers. We'll see if that happens, because I talk about some very, very controversial subjects here, and I bring up, the deep thinking behind where we're going in the future right now. I'm 62 years old. I'd like to leave a better world for my grandchildren. That's why I do all this thing I do, is trying to raise people's awareness, educate people, and help them spread the word to their normie neighbors and stuff like that. Everything's a psy-op. Everything's a scam. As Vanticus Prime, who often writes in the Do Dissident and the Jimmy Dore show, everything's a scam, everything's a lie, everything's hypocrisy, so I don't comply. That's always pretty cool. So thank you, Elbow Kid. Thank you, Greg Hume. Thank you, Get Up King. Thanks for being here this week. Thank you, IPONU, for moderating and doing everything you do for me over there. Thank you. You're going to need a bigger boat. I enjoyed your comment. And everybody else, Chuck Bam, breaking news, UFO over Chicago. Keep your eyes up. I want to quickly say thank you, Chuck Bam. I did a quick search for breaking news, UFOs over Chicago. I couldn't find anything. But I will be looking into that, because that's interesting. I remember when they staged the Phoenix Lights thing, it really got people thinking, and the government had to do some fancy footwork to try to get people's minds off that. So we'll find out what's going on in Chicago. So until next week, thank you guys. And remember, conventional wisdom can only get you so far. In fact, conventional wisdom is simply conventional deception. So if you really want to know the truth, sometimes you just have to go beyond the pale. Thank you very much. See you next week. And I will go out with another rendition of my theme song.
They send our sons to war, a cruel charade, a racket built on blood, where fortunes are made. They lie about the reasons, spin tales so tall, while heroes die for profit and empires fall. Politics a game, a circus of clowns, puppets on strings. They parade through our towns. They distract and divide us with hate as their tool, pitting brother against brother in a world they misrule. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the pale, then that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. Their anti-human agenda, it's plain as the day. They view us as bugs in their cold, heartless play. Eat insects, they sneer, while they feast on the land. Depopulation's their goal, with a tightening hand. Civil rights torn to shreds in the name of their peace. A police state rises where freedom's all seized. Gaslight us with propaganda, their lies never end, twisting truth in their grip till our minds start to bend. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the pale, then that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. Order out of chaos, their sinister creed. They spark the flames, then offer what we need. Economic stagnation, they choke out our dreams, while divide and conquer rips us at the seams. They fan every fracture, they stoke every fight, left against right, till we're blind to the light. Yet beyond their pale lies the truth they conceal. A world where we're free, where our hearts can still heal. When the powers that be warn you not to go beyond the bed, then bold, and that's a sure sign there's more to the tale. So step past their warnings, their fences, their lies. See the world they've been hiding with wide open eyes. Beyond the pale, where their power grows frail, we'll reclaim our future and truth will